Hello and welcome to Real World Magic, where we make your life a little bit more magical. My name's Neil Trigger, I'm going to be your host, and today I'm going to show you how to turn this vodka bottle into a selection of magical potions. What we're going to do is take a bottle like this. What we need to do first is to pop this ring off. You then need to peel off this sticker. What we need to do to get off that glue is to use white spirit. This is B&Q's own brand, Dial. You need to be an adult to buy this, so if you're not an adult, get an adult to buy it for you. You've peeled off the label, you've cleaned it up, and now it looks a bit like this, which is great, but it's still got this number on here. You may have noticed the nail polish remover. Again, all you need to do is just a bit on here, put that to one side, and give it a single wipe, and you'll notice that the ink comes right off. Our bottle is now completely clean. It's completely gumless. It is a little bit scratched up at some places. That's fine, because the next stage is to rough it up a bit. Just use any sandpaper that you've got. This one is a 180 grit, but it doesn't matter really. Make sure that you scratch it up properly. You want to be quite rough with it. Try not to go all in one direction either, because if you do, it will look a bit weird. Okay, I've finished. So now I've got two sanded down bottles. I know you probably can't see this on camera because of the frosting. We'll get there in a second, don't worry. A raw umber, which is kind of a dark brown. Any kind of dark brown will be fine. Yellow ochre, again, kind of a light brown, almost a pale, creamy kind of colour. Black. We'll start out with the dark brown and a fairly thick paintbrush. If you're interested, these are the paints that I'm using. They're Castle Art Supplies. That I'm not being sponsored by them. I bought these on Amazon. So we'll start out with the brown, just put it all over it. Just leave it for a little while until you start to see it go a little bit tacky, and then take another piece of kitchen roll and just dab it off. And if, like me, you've got a bit of frosting on your glass, it'll pick up the paint a lot easier because there's more surface area and it will dry a bit quicker. If it starts to dry a bit too quick, just dab some kitchen roll in some water and then it will just loosen off the paint a little bit more. Okay, so now that's looking pretty mucky, but the good thing is that all of the paint is starting to go inside some of those scratches. So what we want to do next is to blacken it up a bit. Just dab a bit of black onto the brush, and this time, rather than painting it all over, just dab it a little bit. It's almost like you're going for Jaguar spots. You don't want too even or too uniform anywhere. You just want a bit of splotting. Just take the same rag again and just dab this time. So don't leave it quite as long as you did the last one. Just dab, and what you'll see is that some of the scum around the sides of each spot will stay where it is when the middle gets taken away. That's kind of the look you're going for. Make sure you wash out your brush. So now you've got the yellow on your brush, just dab that on again in a fairly similar way to the black. So once it's started drying, again, just dab it all off in a similar way to before. And you'll notice that this time, although there's actually more paint on there, it does start to appear to get lighter. Now, rather than wetting it at this point, give it another sand over. Okay, so we're pretty much done. That is the aging of the potion bottle from this lovely clean one to this disgusting old dirty one. Next, you need to get your labels. These ones I bought online. I think they were probably a bit overpriced because I've got to cut them out myself. Once you have cut them out, because they're stickers, they will go on fairly easily. But what you need to do is to paint around the edge. Now, you can either use the black paint that you used before or use a Sharpie marker. The reason that I use Sharpie rather than paint is because it bleeds over, which makes it kind of look a little bit older, which is lovely. And that's exactly what I'm going for. Just apply it to your bottle. And that, my dear, is one completed bottle. Next, we need to fill it. Now, you can either use shampoo or fairy liquid, hand wash, anything like that. Just make sure that if you are going to fill it with things that are not edible, keep them away from very young children who don't know that eating soap is a bad idea. I found the easiest way to fill this bottle is to get a very thin stream so that then you don't get any locked air bubbles that stops it from going in. So just be patient, you'll get there in the end. Great, so once that's done, just put the lid back on and your Polyjuice potion, or whatever potion you're making, is finished. And that is how to make a magical potion out of a vodka bottle. The cool thing is as well that you can use any kind of shape of bottle, any size of bottle. Something like this, for example, would be fine. You can use something like this one, which I've used for Veritaserum. I haven't actually filled it yet, but you could fill that with water. You could use this sort of thing, almost like a Kilner jar. Obviously you've got this sort of thing. You can use hand gel to fill this one. I've got these, which are medicine bottles and brandy bottles. A mixture is often very, very good. You can even use jars like this, which would work a lot better for solid objects like a bezoar. Thanks very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more of this sort of stuff. The whole idea of this channel is to make your life more magical. So remember that little bell down there, that will let you know when I release a new video. And I've got loads of videos about this sort of stuff. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good time. Cheers.